Hi friends. I'm going to do a video where you are going to learn how to create a brush in Photoshop. So the first thing we're going to do is open Photoshop. We're going to go to File and New. And the first thing that we want to do is to be sure that we go over and change the resolution to 300. So there's that. And this width and height are all fine. So I am going to hit Create. And I've got this nice little empty background thing. Now I'm going to show you there's two different ways that you can make a font come in or become a brush. So the first way is to type one. So I'm going to go over here to the type tool and I'm going to drop it here and I am going to type something. Let's do hello. Right now it's white. It's not going to work. So I need to change that to black. So I'm going to highlight it by double clicking. I'm going to go over here, down here to the bottom, and I'm going to change my color to black. And that'll change the fill color. So now if I click off of it, I have this. I'm going to make it bigger, much bigger. Okay, so this works. Go ahead and make it, extend it a little bit. Center it just so it looks nice. Okay, so from there, I want to go to Edit up here on the top. I'm going to pull this menu down. I'm going to come down here. It's about 3/4 of the way down to Define Brush Preset. And I'm going, oh wait, never mind. I'm going to double click it first. Try that again. Define Brush Preset. Now I have this, and I'm just going to call this Hello 1. And I'm going to hit OK. So now I have created a brush. I know that because move my things around over here. If I create a layer and hide this, here is my brush. And if I click it once, it will stamp it. I'm going to hit Control Z to get rid of that. And now I want to show you how to change this brush into the one that we are going to use for our text portraits. So if I come up here to Window and Brushes, so I've got this one, and I have other brushes that I've made. I want to be sure that I click on the hello that I just created. So I want to go over to Brush Settings right here. And so I want to show you, if I click and drag right now, it's just going to make a big blob. I don't want a big blob. I want individual stamps. And I want to make this as easy for myself as possible. So there's a couple things that I can do to make that happen while I'm actually creating my brush. I'm going to go to Brush Tip Shape, and way down here at the bottom, or close to the bottom, I'm going to slide this over, and it will create space between my brush. So now if I come over here and click and drag, it's going to space it out, which is what I want, because I want my words to be legible. The next thing that I am going to do is come to Shape Dynamics, and I don't want a static font. And what I mean by that is I don't want it to just be one size. I want it to be a lot of different sizes to give it some more interest. So I'm going to go to Size Jitter, which is right here at the top, and pull it over. I'm going to go all the way over just because I want it to have a lot of contrast in size, a lot of jitter. And then there's some other ones that I can do too. I can change the angle. And I feel like this really sort of depends on what you're doing, who you're doing, if you're doing a text portrait. If you're doing something that's really dynamic and maybe a little more chaotic, I think angle jitter is a nice thing. So I can take that and turn it. And so they'll go all from nice and horizontal to just kind of random and all over the place. I'm going to leave mine horizontal. I tend to leave mine horizontal, but again, that is your call depending on what you're making. Next, I'm going to come to scattering, and I feel like this makes a really big difference. So I'm going to pull my scatter, and right now, so if I scatter and I try it over here, I've got them really spaced out. So I think I probably want to change my count there, so that when I'm actually doing it, it'll a little bit more down. There we go. That might be a little too much, so I'm going to pull it down. Hit Control Z to go back. There we go. So there's a little more space. I can actually see the word a little bit more. I might actually pull that down just a touch more. Let's try 7. Sounds like a good number. Come back over here. There we go. I feel like I can read that a lot more this time. So I like this one. I can change other things on the screen too. I can change the texture. I can make it actually have texture, or I can change contrast. I like some of these, but for what we are doing, we don't need to do that. But if you want to play with that, please feel free to do that. Okay, so that's one way to create a brush and how to use your brush settings. I'm going to show you another one too. And that is going into the internet. I'm going to pull up Google. I'm going to come up here and I am going to type in abstract fonts with an s.com. That's my personal favorite one. And this is from when I did the cat in class. So I'm going to try hello. And I get a nice selection of different fonts here. This site is pretty cool because I can do other ones too. I can come up here. There's collections, there's categories, there's popular, there's even designers, and then there's even A to Z. So you got a really good kind of crazy collection. So if I just click on A, so all of these fonts have a title who the font designer has made, and they all have, so it all starts with A. So as I go here, I like this one. It's kind of fun, a little different. I'm going to blow it up on my screen. I can save this too, and then I can type it into Photoshop. But another way to do that, and I just want to show you a different way because there's lots, it's always nice to know different ways. I'm going to hit Windows, Shift, and S. And that's going to pull up my snip tool. And I'm going to highlight that little dude. There we go. It says my snip has been saved. So I'm going to go back into Photoshop and I'm going to create a new document because I can. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to change my resolution again to 300. Always incredibly important for anything that's ever going to be printed. So here's that. My snip is on the clipboard, so I'm going to click on this twice. And now here I go. It's pretty small because my snip was pretty small. So I'm going to hit Control and V, and that will paste what I made. Then I'm going to hit Control and plus to blow it up a little bit, and I will see it's kind of blurry. And that's, it is what it is. So, but I can kind of change that. If I go over in here to image and image size, and so I see here it's very small. Again, that's probably because I snipped it from the internet. So I'm going to change this right now. It's not even an inch. I'm going to make it like 2 inches. Hit OK. And it's going to resample. So now if I make it smaller, it's a slightly less blurry. It's still a little bit blurry, but again, for purposes of this, that's okay. So now when I do the creating a brush, it's actually very easy from here. So same thing as before. And I don't have to have the background taken out. As long as it is black on white, it'll be fine. I'm going to go to Edit, Define Brush Preset, Hello 2. Good to have titles. Here I go. Here's my font. As a brush. Same thing. Come over here to Settings. I want to change my spacing. I want to change my jitter. I want to change my scatter. And I want to change my count. So now I have this, and if I drag it over here onto a new layer, let's hide this one, I get my nice cool new hello. Now, I forgot to tell you this before. I need to save this sucker, or all of this work that I've just done here in brush settings is going to go away. So I'm going to hit plus, and now it has all of this information, and I want to save it, and I'm just going to save it as the same thing. So it's hello 2, and I don't want it to be 1. I want to save it over the last one. So now if I go up here to my hello, my last one, there it is, and I can click it and I can use it. All right, so that is how to create your brushes in Photoshop. Have a good time doing that. Obviously, let me know if you need assistance with any of this.